Everybody come close. Close your circle. Close your circle. Back to you. Okay, so we're gonna go over the darts from half guard. Okay, so number one objective is to get my darts is what? Get my arm over here. Okay, if Lily's on a darts, I'm gonna use this arm underneath, grab his head, bring this through, make my hand to the inside of my elbow here, and this hand up to the shoulder, flatten out, and squeeze to the shoulder. Okay? So what we're going to work on today, what we're going to work on right now, is we're going to go over basic fundamentals for this shoulder. It's two things. One, I want to get my arm as deep as possible. Deep as possible with the shoulder. Okay? So when I'm usually when I set up a darce and half guard, I pretend like I'm trying to flatten him out. Okay? Like this, trying to make him move. He's going to crawl under. Usually try to crawl underneath me. I'm going to flatten him out. I'm going to come back under. When he comes back under, I'm going to bring this hand and shoot this in. Notice when I do this, when I go for my darce, I'm not going straight forward. I'm dropping my shoulder to his chest. Okay? So when I'm here and I shoot my darts, I'm not going straight down. When I drop this in to go in, I turn to make my arm long. Okay? So like this is how far my arm goes. Okay? When I drop my shoulder to his chest, it goes much further. Okay? Once I get this, I'm gonna grab the back of his head and bring it in. Okay? This is basically just to make this easier transition and get this. Okay? Now, if I drop this in, and like what I would do in this situation is shoot my head back. When he starts doing that, then it becomes a different everything. But for the sake of teaching the move, we're going to go to make it easy for ourselves. Okay? So I'm here, I'm in half guard, I'm riding heavy on his shoulder. Okay? Usually, like I said, I'm trying to want to flatten this out. You got to curl back into you. I'm kind of pushing down this way. You got to come back in. So when he comes back in, I'm going to drop my shoulder and shoot this through. Okay? Once I get my hand as far in as I can get it, I'm going to try to grab the back of his head, keep him from shooting his head back. If he doesn't shoot his head back, the move becomes way more difficult and less likely for me to finish. I'm going to shoot this in, I'm going to grab this. Okay? Now, I'm going to switch my weight from here to here and bring my elbow to the back of his head. Okay? Not to elbow him, but just as I want to place is to bring my elbow to the back of his head. Okay? Once I get this, I'm going to shoot this hand to the crease of this elbow. I'm going to drop my weight forward. Okay? When I drop my weight forward, bring this hand up to his shoulder. This should be nice and tight already. Okay? If possible, I'm going to kick out, flatten out, and come this way. If he's still not tapping, or I'm going to curl underneath him like such, keep this in and squeeze to the tap. Or if he's super like protecting and fighting his neck, I'm going to curl this way and move. Okay? The curl is how I try to finish it in competition. It's a much quicker tap. But when I'm demoing it, it's hard to curl at the top and pass out. So, same thing. Half guard, heavy on the arm. Okay? I'm going to flatten him out, try to make him come back in like this. Drop my shoulder. Okay? Once I get this in nice and deep, I'm going to grab the back of his head. I'm going to switch my weight back this way. Keep him nice and tight. Elbow to the back of his head. Bring this hand to the crease of my elbow. And goes to the mat. I'm going to bring this up to his shoulder. From here, I can finish this just by squeezing. Or if I want to get super technical, get this out, flatten out, I'm going to squeeze. Or take this and then turn underneath him and then squeeze. Okay? So we're going to go for the actual setup first. I'm going to go for the setup. So right now we're focusing on this. Out of his arm, take this, dip this down, come through, grab this, top arm, I'll bring my weight down, switch my body, bring my elbow to the back of his head, bring this in, and get here. Once we get here, we're going to go how we're going to finish it from here. We got to get to this point first. Okay? Questions? Anybody? No? Let's go. Grab a partner. See this? It's so very easy. get your partner. Okay, remember on the initial move, remember to dip your shoulder down. You can't just go straight forward. You have to turn it and dip. Dip your shoulder to your chest and get your arm there as deep as you can get it.
You get your hand card, unit costing, and you turn into a that they're turning into, right? So what I was doing was that, and then here. But I kind of felt like they were rolling to their back away from me. That I was a little in the place.
Not even sweet, not even so basically, bring this in. I have to switch my way through. My shoulder is up. I have to come over. She's already tightened that up. Let's get 3 in. Get 3 in a row and then switch. Then we're going to go over a different angle and then we're going to switch something else. Okay?
I know how
There you go. All right, break. Everybody start to look real quick. We're going to go over one thing, one more emphasis, then we're going to switch back to the back attack stuff we're doing. Right here. Okay. So I was correcting people, a few people, on two things. One is when I get this in, and I get this nice and deep, and I get this here, this arm has to be in a certain spot, okay? If Pedro's arm is still up and I lock this up, he can use this elbow to create space. So if I have this nice and deep, but I haven't tucked his arm down, his arm is still lifted like it is right now, and I lock this up, he can use his elbow, like shoot your elbow straight up, Pedro. And this, well, I wouldn't do that. That's a bad idea. But shoot your elbow in my chest. Yes. This makes this part of the finish. And he has more room to maneuver and try to wiggle his way out, okay? So when I get this and I get nice and deep, I want to make sure I tuck this, like not really underneath my armpit, but bring it back to the middle. So if it's here, when I go to sit, I want to elevate just enough to push this and pass it over. Okay? Now, once I get this, and I have this nice and deep, and I come here. A lot of people, when they get here, you'll see a lot of guys do this, they get nice and tight and they'll start squeezing, okay? Which is fine, you can finish it from there. But a much easier way to do that, everybody come to this side. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with getting here, get this, nice and tight, secure, more than likely you're not going anywhere, you can do small ball and squeeze them. There's nothing wrong with it, okay? But what I want to do, ideally, is get this nice and tight, and everybody's watching my hips. I'm going to drop my shoulder down. This is usually making tap. If he doesn't tap from this, I'm going to take this leg and drop underneath me. Okay? I don't have to blow my arm up. I don't have to sleep. Okay? Do this in few butt vaporize. That's not easy. Keep getting no blood to it. Okay? Keep fast steps right here. Make sure this is down, it's nice and deep, okay? Like I said, we can figure in with the speed, that's fine. So what I would prefer to do is to drop this down, and this knee, and when you do, I'm going to curl it for the finish. A lot less speed, a lot less muscle. It's a whole lot easier to finish on myself, and a whole lot more substance, okay? Because if you've never been Darce stroke before, there's two things going on. One, you're figuring out how I end up in this position. And then number two, when they start moving, when you're moving, because they're moving, they can't stop. Like if I start moving, Pedro's going to go where I go. If I'm in this position, my guy, I'm pretty much looking at Darce shows me. When I get there, no matter where he goes, how much I push, how much effort I give into it, wherever he moves me, I'm going to move. No matter what he's doing, because he'll get this and he'll roll through some other weird choke he likes to do. I can't do anything besides go with it. No matter what he's doing, I'm just rolling with it until I can't take it. So just control. Get nice and deep. You know, squeezing is fine, but it's all about angles. Angles. Getting this deeper and trying not to extend so much energy on your part. Make sense? So for bigger guys like myself or Mike or Jared, this is fun. I can finish this most of the time. Okay? I've been in Darce stroke before in a tournament, and the guy had me, he was squeezing, I managed to get out, I don't really know how, because he was focused on this ball. If he would have dropped, because he was a lot bigger than me, if he would have dropped this, I would have went to sleep very quickly. But he was focused, because he was so strong, he was focused on doing this. And I just, basically held my breath, he got tired. Once he got tired, I got out. Okay? So let's not focus on muscle and strength, let's focus on angles and technique. Right with me? Sounds good? Questions? Darce? Okay. All right, let's go back to our back attack.